You did it, you woke a sleeping monster. You did it, you woke a sleeping monster. You did it, you woke a sleeping monster. You did it, you woke a sleeping monster.
Yeah, now check my lenses. Yeah, look through my window, my crescendo. Step up the tempo, my life's an innuendo, but I'm super like Nintendo. I bounce back like Rambo. I'm the truth, Paul Pierce. Y'all still wet behind the ears. Your peers cried tears, cause I spit so fierce.
You did it, you woke a sleeping monster. You did it, you woke a sleeping monster. You did it, you woke a sleeping monster. You did it, you woke a sleeping monster.
Yeah, I got a bad habit of smacking these maggots like I'm B-Rabbit. I told you boys to go grab it. Throw the life jacket, but you fell and bumped your head dead, Bob Saget. So moving forward, do not feel the mention or pay attention. I am the fourth dimension, I'm the shark, motherfucker, now you've been bitten.
You did it, you woke a sleeping monster. You did it, you woke a sleeping monster. You did it, you woke a sleeping monster. You did it, you woke a sleeping monster.
Oh, it's cool to the fucking end didn't cut off. God damn it. All right, guys, we're ending the stream. I got to go fix it. We'll start over.
And well, shit. Am I in hell? Am I in hell? Is this it?
Welcome to hell, motherfuckers. But no, well, really quick. Welcome, as always. What's up, Jena? How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Well, I'm feeling froggy.
Oh.
It's probably a bad idea to listen to your streams and know that I have time to stream afterwards.
Why do you say that?
Because I get all froggy.
Oh. Is that another way of you saying you're getting a little hype?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I feel like I got to leap. Start throwing them atheist punch at the two-piece and the biscuit. Da-da-da. Da-da-da.
I have little hands, but you know, body shots.
Body shots, bro. But no, I can't remember who it was because I want to give credit, but at the end they were talking about awakening, whether it's the rise of the phoenix. There was a comment along those lines, or the awakening of a monster or whatever. And I was like, holy shit, this person doesn't even know. I literally just wrote this song.
Literally.
Like yesterday, the day before, whatever it was. And it was really especially the hook, but even the words, if you're really paying attention, is along the lines of that, when Man, when that monster gets awoke, it's bad news. It's bad news.
It's legit. I fucking love it. You write good music.
Oh, I wasn't talking about music. I was talking about once you start digging, and you said it at the end, like once you start digging in the streams and you become more aware of how ignorant and stupid and hurtful and damaging the shit these motherfuckers say, you get froggy, and it's all the 2-piece and biscuits.
Yeah. Yeah. I did not realize with the last one, after like listening to like the 4th or 5th time, it's like, this is some toxic shit. I was, I think Aaron said it earlier, like, oh, you should have put out a freaking napkin warning. I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. I didn't even realize how bad that shit got. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah. Let's hit the announcements, because I'm actually going to make a couple comments about the video that you, especially about the end.
Oh, please.
Because well, as you know, and for those who've been, I've shared it, once or twice live, but I mean, in the last 8 months of my life, that hits a little different for me. That hits a little different. So when I hear motherfuckers just glazing over it like it's not a big deal, again, I have to come up for air, and there's a little 2-piece and a biscuit. But yeah, what's up, everybody in the chat? Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll get to this bullshit ass fucking video here in a second. And when I say
another one I served up to you.
Yeah, another one. Jena, you can tell Jena has been what up, Bar? My name Ozzy Kamikaze. What up, homie? And be on the lookout. Bar, blatant atheist.
Bilowitz, you late again, Bilowitz. God damn it. Anyways.
No, but Bar, Blathius, and myself working on some bangers. Some atheist bangers. But we do have a couple announcements.
Oh, can I do it?
Yeah, absolutely. Please do.
Yeah. Let me scroll.
The only part that I ask that I do is when we announce the state and the location of better. Everything else you do.
Okay. That's fair. Speaking of which, our conference, June 25th, 26th at
the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Thank you. TANG presents Better Conference with Paula Gia, Shannon Q, Dave Warnock, Seth Andrews, Dr. Joshua Bourne, or as Oz says,
Yashua.
Thank you, Cynthia McDonald, and of course, your leader, your king, your wise old god, #Jeez Oz, Ozzy himself, and guess Madam Who, and a plethora of many others. Please, if you haven't bought your tickets yet, airfare is not cheap. So by all means, I've been seeing the ticket sales. I'm excited. I've seen some names of purchases. I'm like, who the fuck is you? I'm excited to see you.
You looking like the devil who created you.
Yes, that.
What was that, Bar? Wait. What was that, Bar? What'd they say? What'd they tell you, Bar?
Oh, that's for the real apples. Yeah, man. You looking like the devil who created you.
Yeah, you looking like the devil who created you.
We will get Rascal Oz better.
The atheist drunken rascal.
Yes. More further announcements tomorrow evening. Great live stream show we have for tomorrow evening. Being comfortable with the uncomfortable. Mental Health Awareness Month. 'Tis this month, y'all. And we have, your usual panel of guests. I will finally join in on this being comfortable with the uncomfortable, along with Oz's real auntie, Aunt Kathy, and a special guest friend of mine. Her name is Deborah. She has her own small channel focusing on mental health. So she is perfect to be here with us tomorrow evening, along with your usual rascals, the Bilowitz, the CosmicKyle, the one that dances all sexual like,
Oh, whoa. You don't just get to be called a rascal. You have to earn that title. Let's be easy here. Let's back off a little bit. Let's back
I gave
off.
it away. I'm sorry.
You know,
Sorry. You gotta earn that.
the rascal title is earned, not given.
You're right, boo. You're right.
I know.
My bad. Any hoot, Tuesday evening, we have the grandfather of Canadian atheists, Randolph Richardson, joining us on Chopping It Up with Jena and Oz. If you don't already know, every fortnight, as Randolph likes to say, or every 2 weeks, he hosts a live stream on his own channel from the Politics Discord channel of a group of other people, having theists come up one by one to convince them if their god, goddess, or deity exists. So we're gonna chop it up with him, see how that's been going.
Babe.
What?
Hold on a second. I'm gonna mute the chat so they can't hear us.
Okay. They muted?
So I just muted all of them so they can't hear us. Randolph is not my grandfather. He is the godfather of atheism.
Shit.
So
did I say grandfather?
Just so we're clear, so I'm gonna unmute so that they don't know. But when we go back, just restate it. Not grandfather. He's the godfather of atheism.
Godfather of soul.
No,
atheism. Shit. Okay. Atheism.
Right.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Mm-hmm.
One second.
Take two.
All right, we're live.
Okay. This Tuesday, May 24th at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, we're having the godfather of soul atheism, Randolph Richardson.
Hey, what the fuck? Soul?
He looked... I'm sorry.
Atheists don't even believe in souls. What are you doing?
I'm sorry.
All right. Take three.
This Tuesday... I can't even do this in a straight face. 24, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, the godfather of atheism in Canada, Randolph Richardson, will be joining us on Chopping It Up with Jena and Oz. What? I said it right that time. I said it right. Y'all know I said it right that time, right? I said it right. I said it right.
On the 24th, we will have our guest, Randolph with the F. Richardson, the godfather of atheism, everywhere. Be there or be whatever that cool kids say nowadays.
It's cool.
Just be that.
Hashtag professional. I said it right. He's the godfather of Canada.
No.
Yes.
No, we've already talked about this. Same bar. And just so you know, you're gonna have a couple drinks with this man. And I'm not talking about the little fucking Zimas that you drink on
Wait,
stream.
is he old enough?
Yes, he's old enough.
Are you sure? You legal age?
You'd be legal though. But we did have a super chat. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Constellation Pegasus 999. Why would Bible passages bother you when you research and prove the Bible is nothing but a work of man? Isn't that what research and critical thinking skills are for? Gas.
Oh, baby.
Oh, baby.
Blah, blah, blah.
Oh shit, you 24?
He's
Damn,
25, gang.
24.
Tang
That's
gang.
what's up.
Is going in. All right. Let me stop. Let me stop.
Okay. Get it together. I know it's late.
Not really. I mean, I've slept 2 hours in 3 days. I'm everything's looking up from here. Literally. But
I'm a bad boy.
man, I am on one tonight.
Yeah, you are. Yes. At least you remembered your hat tonight.
Oh, thanks.
No, you're welcome.
Well, before we get into this video, let's talk a little bit about Jena's video. Just a little bit ago. And if you don't know what we're talking about, Jena just did her solo stream about an hour ago, right around there. And it was some bullshit. And that guy has learned a sales pitch that I think he thought would work. And I think what he found out that it doesn't or didn't and doesn't work. And that's why he's now retired. Retired. Because you can't take that shit onto secular college campuses now in current modern day. Because people have what RIP to my grandpa, what he would have said, they have the go ogles. They have the go ogles. They can go to google.com and search the shit and find out that you are a lying sack of shit. Nobody's sitting in a bathroom at 6 years old and playing with a rubber ducky in a boat and doing and an oo-doo beep beep squeak squeak beep, beep, beep. Oh Jesus. That's the voice of the Lord. How do I know that that's the voice of the Lord? Because I know that that's the voice of the Lord.
Shit.
Thank you, Jesus. So you had that happen, and you know that happened, but then you shit all over your own story by later saying that you don't know who God is, and you don't know the voice of God or a God, and you question, and you go as far as then minimizing, trivializing, and completely shitting and pissing and vomiting and whatever else fucking word you want to use. Those of us, and I will 100% put myself in this category, those of us that because of one mental illnesses and diagnosis and the effects and everything and real life shit that happens, passing of parents, toxic relationships and families, just all the shit stacks up, losing jobs, dude, like all that real shit, you just minimize it. And it's like, oh, suicide, no big deal. Oh,
there's
suicide.
no meeting, there's no God. Oh, suicide.
I'm just gonna drive into a fucking polar. Like that's literally what he did. In the whole time, and that's where I kind of went silent in the chat because I'm like, this motherfucker. I actually want to talk to this guy because like either you are so far removed from reality that you don't get it and you don't understand it, or you are just the biggest arrogant, self-loving, self-loathing asshole that I have ever encountered. And I want to be able to tell you that face to face. So I won't drag it out, but the one thing that I did want to say, because I know for myself and Jena, you and I, have had conversations, and I'll never speak for you. I always, always make sure to respect those boundaries publicly, and you talk about what you want to talk about, freely. But for myself. And then there's even people in the chat right now that I've had conversation with, or we've had conversations with, that hits way too close to home, bro. For you to try to minimize and make it trivial. Like, oh God, prove to me that you exist, and if you don't, I'm gonna kill myself because it doesn't matter anyway, because I'm a nihilist and hard determinism. And fuck you, dude. Fuck you. Fuck you. And anybody that thinks like that. If you think like that, fuck you. and I will any good opportunity. I don't just say it flippantly, but any good opportunity that I get to say it because somebody's just a fucking douche or they're a fucking asshole. If that's actually your position, fucking suck my atheist dick, bitch. Fuck you. And you do not deserve for me to have a kind, charitable, peaceful conversation. You don't deserve that. You have not earned it. You have earned all of the angry atheist. You have earned all of my former screen name when I first walked away from religion. You have earned the atheist asshole. You earned that. And as somebody, like I said, I kind of went silent in the chat because I wanted to make sure I was trying to recollect, and because I always want to be a straight shooter when it comes to this, because this topic, and we're getting ready to do a stream on it, the next 24, 48 hours.
Yeah.
I want to be a straight shooter and be, as accurate, in my own story, with my ADHD memory. But let's just go to my mom's passing, July 31st, I believe it was July 30th, 31st of last year. I've had or made, however I should frame that sentence, but I've had or made four suicide attempts in that time frame. So forgive me, and I don't remember the guy's name, but forgive me for calling you a piece of shit. Please forgive. Actually, don't. Fuck you. I don't care if you forgive me, but fuck off. Fuck off. Do not treat that like it's just this thing that you test God with.
No.
Guess what? I've never tested God with suicide. I've just asked for evidence. That's all I've ever asked for, and I can't even get that, and I'm not even putting my life on the line. I'm just asking simply for evidence. But yet you do it and do this thing, and you have these fake moments where Jena hit the nail on the head, and even what Jena said might sound insensitive to some people, but I know exactly what she is saying or was saying, and that what was the phrase you, because
chicken shit.
You said chicken shit. I'll go a step further. You're a bitch. If that's actually where you were, that it's A or B, and you have created this stupid dichotomy in your brain. You bitched out, and because you bitched out, you didn't want to be the bitch, so you said, therefore God intervened. No, God,
Jesus, take the wheel.
God did not intervene, and there's a reason you're not getting the royalties, bitch. Because the shit didn't happen. And you didn't write the song, asshole. You didn't write the song. You got to write the song to get the royalties. But I digress.
Well, I appreciate that. And I know yeah, I won't repeat or reassess so we can move forward, but I didn't realize how tough that would have been in the last little bits of his, bullshit story. So Shout out to Ro. Hi. Oh my gosh. This is an honor. Hi, Ro. Ro is in great connection with the Black non-believers, and they are just a beautiful singer, speaker, all that good stuff. So glad to see you here.
Is Ro? Is that the one episode that I saw? Is that Ro?
No,
Or is it,
Ro is totally different person. No.
Okay, well, not the one episode. I've seen many episodes, but the names seem to connect with the what
Oh.
episode I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, no. Mm-mm.
Okay. No, that sounds like we're being discreet. I'm not being discreet. It was just the name reminded me, and it looked like in the picture, they were behind a keyboard or an instrument or something, and so that's what triggered that idea. But anyhow, before I make myself sound more ignorant, we do have a Vigia to talk about, and we are now going to dig into the good book. Is everybody ready to dig into the good book? Jena's excited.
So excited.
That fucking shit went forever.
It did. I was like, is this just gonna end? I didn't mean to act it out this long. God damn.
All right. So the name of this Vigia is and hold on before we do this. I need to make an adjustment here.
We got this, y'all. We're good.
No, it's just one minor adjustment. Everybody just hold on to your panties and your thongs. So the name of this Vigia is What Should We Do When Bible Passages Bother Us? And the commentary for the video is hosted and recorded by Dr. Esau McCaulley. Colgan. No, just McCaulley.
Oh. No relation.
None at all. Macaulay Culkin's a fucking tweaked out fucking method.
But this does come from the same bullshit people I've been talking about, Jude 3 Project, which I've been on their dick for a minute, so you know.
Been on that sorry. Yes, so it does come from the same channel, the same bullshit. So you can only imagine what we're getting ready, the piles of dog shit that we're getting ready to step into. And when Jena sent me this link, I text her at 1.5 minutes in, and I was like, babe, I'm 1.5 minutes in and I'm already walking in dog shit. This isn't good.
Good Christian apologetics. Roll the tape.
This isn't good. So everybody in the chat, hope you're ready. Before we do, you know what we do anytime we're getting ready to go to the good book? Lay back. Put my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Yeah. Lay back. And I have been a very rude host in this regard, because a good host asked this question up top. Jena, what you drinking on tonight?
Pink lemonade with a little bit of wine. It's wine.
So you have lemonade and wine.
Yes. I could have said that. What are you drinking, sir?
Well, you know, I got some crown apple with that cranberry juice. So
It's your
crown apple,
favorite.
cranberry juice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That went weird.
Yep. Roll the tape.
You know what? Quit telling me what to do.
It's not me. It's Constellation Pegasus. He asked this like 20 minutes ago
What?
to roll the tape.
Well, I don't look, everybody. I don't because of my childhood. I don't take well to being told what to. You can ask me nicely, and I will probably do it because I do love to help people. I do care about people. I care about helping people. But even the people that I work with and work for, they will tell you I don't take like orders.
He doesn't.
I fucking hate it.
He does. I'm sorry, not my show.
No, it's not even like that. I have a bad reaction to it. It's like a like I'm allergic to it.
Do you break out in hives?
I do.
Oh.
In my brain.
Oh. Okay. Well.
So roll the tape, I guess they say. Oh boy.
Ugh.
Good evening, afternoon, morning, Jude 3 program. Lisa's asked me to speak to you all about dealing with difficult passages in the Bible. And I thought that rather than simply just jump in and start talking about a difficult passage and then working through it, I want to take a step back and say, well, why do we run into difficult passages in the Bible more broadly? What is it about the Bible that makes it difficult to interpret? And the first thing is, like, we have to think about, well, what is the Bible itself? Well, the Bible isn't simply one book with a single author that you can begin in chapter 1 and work your way through all the way to the end. The Bible is actually 66 books written by a multitude of authors over a period of thousands of years. And those authors had radically different socioeconomic standing. They had different places in society. They had different problems. They were going through different things in history. And so when you say I'm running into a difficulty in understanding a passage from the Bible.
Nope, that's not what I wanted. God damn it. There we go. So we already have a problem. It's not just a book with one author. It's 66 books with a plethora of authors. Well, that's not a me problem. Jena, that's not a me problem.
No, it's not. Can you please move that mic out of your face?
No, I want to be like them.
Oh, shit.
When I say dumb shit, I can just hide behind my microphone.
You know what? You are right, Dr. Ozzy. My apologies for questioning your credentials.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I've learned nowadays with all these Christians, like anybody can just slap a fucking doctor in front of their name.
Fuck.
So starting tonight, I'm fucking Dr. Ozzy. Fuck him.
And I am Doctor, not a lady. Fuck him.
Yeah. Do the damn thing.
Fuck it.
Yeah, I'll be senator next, and then president after that.
Fuck it.
Hey, if Donald fucking Trump can become president, this motherfucker can become president. Real talk. But no, so the video. That's not an atheist problem.
No.
And Christians, that's not even a you problem. That is a God or your God problem. Because he failed as the all-knowing, all-loving, all everything God. He failed to realize that, oh, fuck. If I have my instruction manual, my user guide, for my creation written in ancient text, it's probably not going to be a good idea when we get to 2022. He failed to realize that. That's not an us problem as humans. God, if your name is Aaron, you done fucked up, Aaron.
Done fucked up, Aaron.
You done fucked up. So that's what I said. A minute and a half in, and I'm like, here we go.
Bible or understanding what's going on in the Bible as a whole. Part of it is the difficulty of making sense of this book that has these different authors. But for the Christian or the person of faith, although there are multiple authors of these letters, books, narratives, and poems, we also believe that this text is inspired. And so alongside the human authors who composed these texts, there was the superintendence of the Holy Spirit. And so that we do believe that there is an overarching story or account of God.
Nope, fuck you.
You're just going to take that word and just assume that, oh, it's all inspired? These authors were all inspired to write this shit. Believe it.
Do you want to go to war, Balake?
God damn it, Bilowitz.
But no, come on, bro. Come on. That is the sorry. Finish, babe.
No. I was breathing. I was finished.
You don't get to that is like weak Christian apologetic 101. Well, we can't defend the original authors because in parentheses we don't know who a lot of them were, but we can't defend it. And because we can't defend it, just remember who inspired this travesty. Just remember who inspired slavery and misogyny and genocide and racism and child abuse and murder and all the other fucked up shit. Just remember who inspired the book. And again, sir, go suck an atheist dick.
What an easy cop out.
What sucks for them?
Mm-hmm.
What sucks is they don't realize how, like literally how dumb and uninformed it makes them look or sound or appear. We don't know who put the pen to the paper, but fuck it. Just know that God inspired it. Yeah, okay, bruh. Next.
That emerges as we read these texts as a result of his providence. And that's not always easy to discern. And that's where you run into the sticky issue of biblical interpretation. The other thing that I want to say is that one of the things that makes the Bible tricky is that it's a part of a canon. Once again, this may seem straightforward, but it's at least important to put out at the beginning. Once you put a letter or a story or a poem next to another story, letter, or poem, that changes its meaning. Not in the sense that it becomes something different. It just enters into a conversation. So you just imagine.
What the fuck are you talking about?
What? Okay,
So
first of all, that it's canon. Sorry.
No, you go.
We're already excited. First of all, the fact that you're saying it's canon. Then the fact that you're saying, oh, if you put a letter to a letter to a letter, oh, it's all going to read the same, but it's going to read differently. Huh? That doesn't make sense. Especially since the shit is not in order in some cases. I mean, no.
I just want to make sure you're done. I don't want to.
No, I'm I'm done.
Okay.
Where's my done button?
Well, babe, first of all, Can you confirm again that it says doctor in front of his name?
Yep, DR. That stands for doctor.
DR period, right?
DR period. Yes.
Just to be as accurate. Okay. So this makes 2, I think 3, quote unquote, and I'm using this very liberally, very freely, just to try to be as respectful as I can be. But this is 2, I think 3 doctors in a row. Y'all are some fucking dumbasses. Y'all are some fucking dumbasses. And going to school and receiving an education does not therefore equal intelligence. Let's just make sure we're clear on this. Just because you go and learn what's in books does not mean you are intelligent. It just means you've been programmed to believe a thing that you were taught to believe. Then this whole, well, we have the different authors, and then we have the canon, and then we don't know, is it poetry? Is it allegory? Is it literal? Is it worship? Is it prayer? Is it wisdom? Fuck you. That's what it is. That's not a me problem. It sounds like your God was more bipolar than I've ever even considered being. That he couldn't put more than 2 or 3 rational thoughts together without skipping on to the next thing. That's not a me problem. And the fact that your God is dumb enough to wait thousands of years to try to accumulate this book and put everything together, again, isn't a Jena problem. I'm sorry, it's not a doctor, not a lady problem. It's not a Dr. Ozzy problem. It's not an atheist problem. It's not even a you problem, Dr. Christian. It's a Yahweh problem. He fucked up. But you were going to say something, Jena. I cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, I'm good. I want to hear the. I'm good.
Let the church say amen.
Amen.
If you and 2 of your friends are talking, you may talk one way, and then you bring that third person into the conversation, that changes the whole dynamic. And so what you have then is not simply books that are potentially tricky on their own. It's about what happens when you put them in the conversation with one another. So, for example, what does it mean that we start the New Testament with the book of Matthew and the Old Testament ends with Malachi? That creates a certain kind of conversation. That means that you hear Malachi differently because you know it's followed by what occurs in the New Testament. And so part of making sense of the Bible is understanding that it is 66 books written over a long period of time with different authors and different issues that we believe ultimately was under the superintendence of the Holy Spirit in some form. And so then you say, well,
you go first, please.
That isn't what wouldn't that just, if you're adding 3 different people to the same story and they all had their different ways of telling the story, wouldn't that just fuck the story up entirely? Then who do you base that basis off of who's telling the right story? Hell, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
What up, Mac?
God damn it, Mac. That book didn't make it. He didn't make it. Mac didn't make it. Hell, those assholes tell the fucking story of Jesus all 4 different fucking ways. So to involve those gospels and anything else in the Bible that tells of parables or whatever, or the same bullshit over and over, that doesn't make it more legitimate. It just makes it more confusing. Because now all the data or time stamps or anything line up with each other. That's not a way to, you don't follow that. if someone came up to me, 3 different people came up to me for a particular situation where they were trying to explain to me what happened, and just, for my own purposes, because I'm a nurse, if a patient has a problem, 3 different people are telling me 3 different stories or instances of what happened to that patient, who the fuck am I gonna follow? You're
Yeah.
just muddling up the story. I'm done.
Oh no, I don't. I want you to go.
Oh, no, I'm
Like,
done.
okay, okay. I'm going to try to enlarge this. There we go. There we go. So just to do a little do a little exercise here, because see, I think a lot of these motherfuckers don't realize that I don't just get on here and talk shit. Like, I actually do fucking homework. You bunch of bastards. And I'm talking about the Christians. Dr. Ozzy is not nearly as dumb as you think I am, but actually, I love that you think I'm dumb, by the way. It plays into my WWF character.
Ooh.
Where did this motherfucker go? Why is it just pulling up?
Please hold.
It's not it.
Turn the Mac.
What? No, not that. Why isn't this shit pulling up? What the fuck?
What are you looking for?
I have a file opened up here, and I want to pull it up on StreamYard to show it.
Oh, I kicked that real good. So that we know, we'll get into whatever bothersome passages that there are in the Bible. Basically, this guy is trying to preemptively state that first, you have to keep in mind that these are different books authored by different people. Okay. Secondly, you have to keep in mind the order in which these people are telling the story, because it is canon and it tells the story in its historical form from past to more recent history. And the fact that you are receiving the information from 3 different sources to all accumulate into one different chapter or book or whatever he's trying to say in that instance, which all 3 of those reasonings make it highly, highly problematic, obviously, because you have all these different sources, all these different ways of telling the story, and the fact that it's not really canon or in order. So, just so we're clear and followed. Did I buy enough time?
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's what the doctor lady's here for. Or not a lady. I don't know. What is a woman?
Whatever you say.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
All right, so I'm gonna pull this up. Jena and I will disappear off screen for a minute. That way the whole image is there.
Ooh.
Hopefully everybody can see this. So this is just the little gospel accounts, the old resurrection. The old resurrection. And I read through this before, and Jen, I don't think you've seen this before, so
I have not.
Please do us the amazing service of reading through the gospel accounts of the resurrection of the supposed #Jesus is a myth supposed resurrection of Jesus Christos.
Wow. Thank you for this honor. All right. So, Oh God, where do I begin? Do I just start with the first question?
Yeah, just start at the top and then just read straight across each line.
All right.
Is the easiest way.
So, in the case of how many women went to the tomb, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John say different bullshit. Matthew states Mary Magdalene and another Mary. Mark says Mary Magdalene, Mary, mother of Jesus, and Salome. Luke, Mary Magdalene, Joanna, and Mary, mother of James. Who the fuck is that? And then John just says only Mary Magdalene. So that is problematic. When did they go to the tomb? Matthew and Luke do not address that, oddly enough. And then Mark and John are pretty much night and day. Literally.
Literally.
Literally. Literally just night and day. Neither motherfucker knew. What did the women see? Matthew, an angel rolled away the stone and sat on it. Cool. Mark, a young man sitting to the side of the stone. Okay. Luke, two men in shining garments. Wow. John, Mary Magdalene saw nothing but a moved stone. And then in tiny writing it says two angels and Jesus appeared to Mary later than the other accounts.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
Oh boy. Problematic. What was said? Matthew, angel says Jesus has risen. Jesus is going to Galilee. And then Mark says, okay, consistently the same thing, but from a young man. So either it was an angel or it was a young man, nameless young man at that. And why would that young man know where the fuck Jesus is going? Hold the fuck on. I have questions. Anyways, then Luke, two men say Jesus has risen. No mention of going to Galilee. All right. And then John says nothing is said about Galilee. Well, fuck. So, three people say Galilee. No, two people say Galilee. And no one says nothing. Did Jesus appear to the women? Matthew says Mary and Mary. And Mark say only Mary. There's a whole lot of fucking Marys. And Luke and John say nothing. Which disciples went to the tomb? Matthew and Mark stay silent. Luke says only Peter. John says Peter and John. John pretty much included his goddamn motherfucking self. Did the disciples believe the reports of the women? They believed the women and quickly something. I can't read below that line. Mark says they did not believe. Luke says they did not believe. Oh, there's more to this chart. And John says nothing. I forgot where I was. Oh, okay. I can read that. How many disciples did Jesus appear at first? Matthew says all. Mark says 2. Luke says 2. And John says 10 of the disciples. Thomas was not with them. And Corinthians says 1. Peter. Oh, boy. Where were the disciples told to go? Matthew said they went to Galilee. Mark said nothing. Luke says they stayed in Jerusalem, and the rest saved nothing. And the final one, I think, what's the final book? Is that Peter? Stay in Jerusalem. That final column. Then scroll up. I forget what chapter. Acts. There we go. I knew that. I know the Bible. Final column. Where did Jesus ascend into heaven? Where did Jesus ascend into? Okay. Matthew doesn't know. Mark says Galilee. Luke says Bethany. And Acts says Mount of Olives. There is a lot of problems here, Dr.
So what
Ozzy.
they're saying is there's some bullshit, and it doesn't take a doctor to sniff that shit out, motherfuckers.
Furthering to the point of when you have 3+ different people telling the same motherfucking story, someone is getting it wrong. I vote all of them bitches got it wrong.
I'm voting that none of them bitches ever existed.
I'm also going to extend that vote and said Jesus is a myth.
Oh, just hold on. Let's do this right. Hashtag Jesus is a myth. Yeah.
Got my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
Yeah.
Problematic.
Yeah. Christians, peoples of faith, you got some splainings to do's. You got some splainings to do's. Because there ain't no Jesus.
How far are we in? Not that far.
Not very far. Yeah. And we may only go like another 10 or 15 minutes because it doesn't take much to debunk this shit. It's stupid. And I even have this shit on 1.25 speed and we still can't get through. Anyway, let's just hit play.
Then okay then. To another important issue is something we need to think about. Well, what kind of problem with the Bible could we have, right? One of them could be a problem that I am misunderstanding the genre and I'm applying something in a way that it was never meant to be applied. So let me give you an example. Wisdom literature, things like Proverbs or things, are things that are generally true about how the world works. So the proverb may say, if you get up early in the morning, you work hard, you'll succeed. No, that's generally true, right? It doesn't mean that every single time you do those things, you're guaranteed a result. And so if you have a passage like says, if you train a child in the way of the Lord, when they grow up, they'll remain, faithful. You got to say, I did that. I did exactly what this proverb said. And I didn't get the result that I wanted. Well, that's a genre problem, right? The other one, another example of that.
No, you're wrong. It's not a genre problem. It's not a me problem. It's not a you problem. That's a Yahweh problem because that is the holy book, the inspired motherfucking goddamn word of God.
It is not our fault. You are misunderstanding and misinterpreting what the Lord is trying to tell you.
It's not a me problem, bro. It's not a me problem.
I like how we just start off there. Oh, the Proverbs. Yeah, that's a great way to start. That's the most problematic passage in the Bible. What proverb to follow? Shit. Forgot about slavery.
Yep. Well, Proverbs, there's several, like, I still use, is it Proverbs 21? So I don't remember now, but there's one verse in Proverbs that I still use all the time. In the multitude of counsel, there is wisdom, and trying to talk to as many people as you can, especially I use that in business more than anything, but to try to get as many opinions and outlooks as you can before you make, that doesn't mean they make your decision for you, but you get input and get wisdom. I do believe that in the multitude of wisdom in counsel and people that have experience and are educated, like truly educated, not like bullshit doctorates like this guy, like real doctorates like Dr. Not a Lady and Dr. Ozzy, like those real doctorates. But Proverbs is filled with things that you can still use. I think what's more problematic is what he's trying to skirt is when it says, well, if you do A, B, C, and D happens.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's problematic with Proverbs.
Yes.
And Proverbs is full of that, which is so ironic and fucked up at the same time, because then in the New Testament it says that hope deferred makes the heart sick. And it's books like Psalm and Proverbs that it's this constant do this and this, do this and this, do this and this, do this and this, right? And all of these promises made to humanity, but they never come to fruition. So then why did Yahweh feel like he had to correct himself in the New Testament and say, well, actually those things, like what I did there, those make your heart sick. Those things make you sick.
It's funny how over the many years as Christianity has developed, how you can look at Proverbs and say you do A and B will happen. A lot of that following and toxic training is that if I keep praying, if I keep fasting, if I keep doing this, if I stay a virgin and wait until I'm married, if I don't do this and wait and do this first, then God will bless me. Da 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 da. Da. And if, of course, still God doesn't bless you, it's within His will, and He'll bless me eventually. And then it goes on and on and on. Maybe that is problematic.
Yep, and that's one where not all, but most of the Christians, like especially in my day-to-day life, but even some of the apologists that I talk to, trying to get around the scripture, that the hope deferred makes the heart sick. It's really difficult because what they love to, this is a whole nother conversation, but because what they love to do is intermingle and tie the words hope and faith together as if they're one thing, right? That fucks them up because as soon as I point that out, they're like, oh, I just got fucked with another atheist dick. God damn it.
That's a big
because
one.
what apologetic gets you around hope deferred makes the heart sick. In every Christian's life that I've ever met, there is heartache after heartache, problem after problem, traumatic situation after traumatic situation, yada 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 yada, on and on and on and on. Right. So at what point then is not only your hope toxic and making your heart sick, but now your faith is toxic and making your heart sick? When do we tie these things fucking together? Right. Oh, but don't do that. Don't touch faith. Gotta have faith. Yeah, gotta.
Copyright.
That's why I stopped. Where's this motherfucker at? There we go.
Is something like the Psalms. The Psalms are ultimately songs or prayers to God. And when you're singing or you're praying or you're talking to God, part of the point of it is you can be honest about what's going on in your life. And so if you see a psalm that says, I want to smash all of my enemies and toss them off the bridge, it doesn't mean that you should actually go out and find your enemies, smash them, and toss them across the bridge. This is what the psalmist is saying to God about his lived experience. What matters so much in that context is not so much what the psalm says, but how God answers. And so you have all of these passages in the Psalms about vengeance upon one's enemies.
What?
You go first.
What? It's not about what the psalm says, but how God answers. Oh, my head hurts. It's not about what the psalm says, but how God answers. So I should not kill my neighbor or toss him off the bridge. But God will answer that particular. I can see how that can be misinterpreted. Why would a motherfucker literally write that in there if it wasn't supposed to be taken literally? I get it, it's supposed to be poetic, it's supposed to be a song, whatever. But I can't even fathom how many people have misinterpreted that single part of a psalm and not take it literally. I don't know how that follows. And then somehow God is supposed to answer that. I don't know how that follows. Like I'm disconnected here. I don't know.
Well, and there would be a lot to unpack there because the problem is, first of all, the supposed author, David was a flawed, fucked up person. And it doesn't matter what Christians try to say. Well, the author, the author of Psalm, and first of all, motherfucker, take the doctor off the front of your name. The fact that you keep saying Psalms, you don't know shit. You don't know your Bible. You don't know Jesus. You don't know nothing about nothing. Shut the fuck up. Shh. It's not Psalms. Psalm. The book of Psalm. Dumbass. But David was a very flawed, fucked up human being. But yet the Bible claims that David had a heart after God. And here's where people get fucked up in their theology and reading into it. It wasn't that he had a heart after God, like it was mimicked or duplicated, or that's not what that meant. A lot of people think that that's what that meant. It simply meant that he had a heart that was pursuing God. But Christians love to turn it into that he had a heart after God, like it was modeled and crafted and made after the heart of God. That's not what that meant. It meant he had a heart that was pursuing God. So he's still very fallible. He's still very fucked up. He's still all this. So don't get that twisted. That's not what that ever meant, ever. And what I do know then when we get to the New Testament was in I think it's Matthew and Luke. Somebody could post it in the chat if I'm wrong, but I think it's Matthew and Luke where it talks about that the heart is deceitful above all things. Right. And then also in those same books, it says from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So tell me how David is now your first praise and worship pastor. Tell me how he was so pure and so mighty and so well grounded in all of his wisdom and knowledge of God and pursuit of God and Yahweh. Again, suck my atheist dick. You
By that previous knowledge, he's not. Yeah.
No, David's not this mighty man of God that Christians try to make him out to be. He's just not. And if you check his, if it was 2022 and you go and check his rap sheet, you'd be like, fuck that dude. I don't trust that motherfucker. You would not. If you checked his rap sheet today and you were going to employ him, you owned a business, you'd be like, fuck off.
Don't mess with that.
But it's in the Bible. So praise the J. Just praise him. And you know how we praise him around here? Yeah. We praise him by smoking on Indo, sipping on gin and juice.
Lay back.
For the Christian, we understand, how does God answer those prayers? He answers those prayers by sending his son to die for the sins of the world. So that ultimately the vengeance of the New Testament that sometimes emerges in the Psalter is answered by God's own love. And so sometimes you have the problem of I'm taking a genre and I'm misapplying it. Another common problem is you take something that's related to Israel and then you apply it to you or America or whatever. So you have something like, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray, then I will heal the land. Well, that was because God was making this statement about the covenant that he had made with Israel. And the idea in the old covenant was that if Israel was obedient to God, God would bless them. If Israel was disobedient to God, then they would be punished. And so in the Old Testament, if the people of Israel humble themselves and pray, God promised them crops, food, all of these things. Now, does that same promise hold true in the New Testament? No. What do you get when you're a Christian? You get Jesus.
Oh boy, did you just step in fucking shit? Did you just step in a fucking... I'll let you go first, Jena.
You, please go first.
Literally what you just did. Again, I need to X that doctor off the front of your fucking goddamn name. You don't know shit, bro. You literally just... You verbally took white out and erased the verse. Because either every single letter, every single word of that Bible is true and accurate, just like the New Testament says, and not one tittle or one diddle or one little and biddle diddle siddle diddle little, all the shit it says. You've now taken it upon yourself to tell us what is deemed to apply in 2022.
Holy shit.
And either that scripture still remains that those that humble themselves and call upon the name of the Lord will be blessed. Either that still remains today as a Bible-believing Christian, or it doesn't. And if it doesn't, just by eliminating that one, you have fucking crashed everything. You've crashed everything. Because if one of those verses does not apply and is irrelevant, the rest of it's shit.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because it's the inspired word of God coming from His Majesty.
It's cherry picking.
Oh,
Because he's cherry picking the fact that, oh, this part doesn't apply to you. It only applied to old school Israel. Modern day America, nah, brah. It don't go. Well, shit, then why don't you cherry pick and erase the Levitical laws? Why don't you cherry pick and erase the 10 Commandments? Why don't you cherry pick and erase the, I don't know, the fucking creation, Genesis 1:1?
Well, and everybody here knows, obviously Jen and I we're a couple, we're dating. We have where I'm getting ready to go next. We have these conversations all the time. And if you watch Pasta Mike's footage when we were in Columbus, I am not scared. I am not afraid to have this conversation with any fucking one. But I want to ask this motherfucker. That's cool. So you want to get verbal whiteout, and take that out? But if we will humble ourselves, and but why aren't you doing that in Exodus, bro?
Yeah.
Because Exodus is the root, or one of the roots in your heritage being owned as property for years and years and years and fucking years. But for somehow, some way, you continue to find a way to protect and coddle and accept a belief in this God that endorsed it. He didn't just sign off on it. He didn't just passively kind of tiptoe around it. He endorsed the ownership of human beings. And you're worried about if those will humble themselves and pray. You're worried about that verse? You're an idiot. You're an idiot. And it makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me as a black man how you can do that. That you can white out that verse, but still accept Exodus 21 and almost 2 chapters in Leviticus. It blows my fucking goddamn mind.
Mm-hmm. I want to say, I think he's choosing the easy shit on purpose. Because and I gave this to you. You probably gotten through more of this than I did. I only got through like maybe the first 3 minutes. Because I just passed it along to you and see if you wanted to talk about it or not, which you did, and I'm not surprised. But I feel like, and like you said, I'm not surprised, fairly typical that he's choosing the easy shit, the easy passages that may or may not have some kind of, oh, huh, that's odd. Or I don't know what to think about that one. The mildly unsettling passages versus the heavier shit. The killing of babies, slavery, how you deal with women, how you force a woman to marry her rapist and all that good stuff. Nah. We're not touching those. Those are too harsh. We're gonna focus on the easy stuff like Proverbs and something else. Definitely doing this shit on purpose. Because easier to apologize yourself out of the extra bullshit just to make it seem a bit nicer. Be like, oh, maybe you should think of it this way.
Yeah, because when, and I really didn't get that far through this. I got enough to understand that he didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. That's all I needed to know.
Very
I mean,
well.
I still would have. We still would have reviewed it, but I
Yeah,
got far enough.
yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to keep watching it because it's going to be the same bullshit, But it's like, yeah, let's talk about the little wrinkles in Proverbs and Psalms, and figure out where what we do with that. Because when you sent it to me, when I read that title, and I'm in again, Jena and I have these conversations all the time. I want to make sure that that's perfectly clear and abundant. When I read that title and I see a black man, I feel like, okay, maybe we're ready to finally have this conversation. And there is a black man that's a theist, a Christian, that's ready to actually attack this conversation and go after this.
That was my expectation. So far, I'm not getting there.
Yeah. So I can't call you doctor anymore, whatever your name is. Because this is some weak sauce, bro. This is some weak sauce. Like this is actually, when I think about the Christians that I know that are not very informed, they're not very educated, even when it comes to doctrine or theology or biblical history. Like everything you're talking about right now is like applesauce. Like this is baby food. This is not meat. And I'm using scriptural references right now because the Bible talks about the milk and the baby food and when you're ready to eat meat, right? And they always say that pastors usually preach messages and give sermons and speak about what is on their mind and where they're at and what they're dealing with. And sir, I don't give a fuck where you supposedly earn that doctorate from. You're not you may be educated, but I question the level of intellect behind the education because we're not digging deep, bro. We're
Not
not
at all.
digging deep here. And this is baby food. Next.
That is what you get in the new covenant. And so you can't take this if we humble ourselves and pray and then directly apply it to the United States, or even have the idea that if we simply do these things, God is going to bless us. That's a similar kind of idea that was much more prominent in the old covenant than it is common in the new covenant. In the new covenant, the blessing that is promised to the Christian is the spirit and the transformation of life. And even someone like Peter gets confused about this because Peter goes, God, Jesus is walking and he says, whoever who wants to follow me must take up his cross, and he who saves his life will lose it, and all of these things. And Peter hears about this, and Peter goes, well, hold on. We left all of this stuff to follow you. Why aren't we going to get these blessings? Peter's still thinking in the old covenant context, and Jesus is explaining to Peter that this is not how things are going to go here. And so another kind of interpretive problem is we applying old covenant ideas.
Oh, hold on. And this is where I'm not in the timeline between the Old Testament and the New Testament. That is not one of my strengths, and I'm willing to. But how do we get to Peter reflecting on the Old Covenant? Because we're talking about a big spread of time. We're talking a big spread of time there. If somebody in the chat has a good response to that, I'd love to hear it. If not, I'll get in contact with Josh and Pat tomorrow, because that does not make sense. Just on first glance, first hearing that. Huh? That's not, it ain't hitting a certain way, Doc. Oh. Sipping on gin and juice.
Lay back.
Under my money. Okay.
To a new covenant context. So let's say that the problem isn't one of genre, that my genre isn't messed up, but that well, actually, can I give one more? I'll give one more history one. Here's another genre mistake that people often make. They will take something that is descriptive and they'll make it prescriptive. And so you see throughout the Old Testament, for example, you see all of the multiple wives of the patriarchs in something like the book of Genesis. And we go, oh, well, then the Bible has Abraham having multiple wives. Abraham was a man after God's own heart or whatever. David had multiple wives. Therefore, we should be able to do what we want. Here's the problem. In every single case, when you look at it, look at every single time there are multiple wives in the Old Testament. In almost every single case, this goes poorly. It is not the case that these women are sitting around going, this is amazing. I love sharing my husband. And the husband is going, this is amazing. Everybody gets along well. Actually, what you see is in every case, there's usually competition, division, and suffering. And so what you should learn from reading those historical narratives is God was gracious to people despite their sin, not their sin is something that must be justified. And for that reason, you can...
Oh, bro, that is some really, really, really piss poor eisegesis. That's some real. You're reading into the text what you want it to say.
Oh my God.
What the fuck?
Was that his great way of saying polygamy? No, because X, Y, and Z people had these problems. It wasn't a good thing, even though God still blessed them. God didn't bless them because of the sin. What?
And isn't it? And I'm just going to point this out because I'm always, one, entertained, but then two, I'm intrigued by like pastors, ministers, like biblical teachers. Yes, he does. He thinks he's owning this shit for sure. Ooh, Tinder. Oh, it left. There it is.
Oh.
Tinder XYZ. Everyone is here to fuck with you.
Ooh.
Bounce, go, wow, 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 wow.
Get it. Get it.
Get that atheist dick. You're welcome. That's what attracts them.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you for taking care of it.
Anyhow, I'm entertained and also intrigued, like from a psychological standpoint, how these like pastors, youth pastors, Bible teachers, apologists, whatever, like it's like this. I don't want to say obsessed, because if they were obsessed, they would talk about it at every single opportunity they had, right? But it's this like underlying fascination or attraction where they have to bring up things sexually that maybe to them are trivial or suspect or tantalizing or seductive, or and it's like, bro, you do realize like it doesn't have to be that. Like you don't have to hide behind your book. Like you can actually pursue whatever it is that you're into. You can actually pursue that and enjoy that, and it not be this thing where it's the I'm gonna form this question as if I'm against it because I want to see how people respond to it. You know what I mean? Like I want the and this is gonna sound, no pun intended, so don't pour on with the that's what she said jokes or anything like that. But they want like the backside or the indirect validation that maybe what they're feeling and what they're thinking could be in a different life or a different lifetime or different world could be okay. That's what I get from that. Okay, good talk.
I'm sorry. I really didn't have a response. No, yeah.
Well, and I will say, as a former Christian, that is all the way, dude. I know I did that. I know I fucking did that. I would never have admitted it then, ever, not ever. But I look back at it in
No, wise.
But now looking back at it, I'm like, I 100% like, what's the gauge? what's the level of acceptance? What can I get away with and not get away with?
Skirt it real close.
Yeah, I did as old Johnny Cash said. I walked the line. I always walked the line.
Say, I don't need to find a way to justify Abraham selling his wife off so they can get into Egypt. You can say that was utterly wicked, but nonetheless, God was merciful to him. And so, once again, we have to be careful that we're not looking at a descriptive narrative of what occurred and take from that, this is the way that we should behave. Now, let's say then that you don't have a genre problem, that you actually have an interpretation problem. Well, then you got to ask yourself the following things. What have I actually done to understand this passage? Most of the time, we will hear something and we'll read it in the Bible and it will bother us. And then we'll kind of move on. We'll forget about it. And then a year later, we come back to that same passage. We read it and then it bothers us. And then we kind of turn on the internet and we see a meme about it. And the meme talks about the same problem that you have. You go, yeah, this part of the Bible doesn't make sense. What I would say to people is there are scholars who devote their lives to understanding the context, the history, the language, and the world into which the Old and New Testament was written. And they've often written about these things. And so if you have a problem, is it simply, I came across something I didn't understand. I looked at a paragraph in my study Bible and it didn't help me. And therefore I thought there was no answer. Or have you actually studied the problem? There are 2,000 years of Christian reflection on these texts. How much of it have you read? And too often I hear people, and I see it all the time, where like they have these radio interviews and like these kind of radio DJs think they have, oh, here's this problem with the Bible that I've never really considered. And they think they've undone Christianity, as if nobody's ever considered the problem of evil or no one's ever figured about suffering. So what I would encourage you to do is to say, I'm going to actually, if I'm a Christian and I'm going to wrestle with something that really bothers me, I'm going to take the time to read the best minds throughout.
Nope, and that'll be the last one. So, Jen, anything you want to say there before I go the fuck off?
If your book takes all these bullshit people to understand it, what the fucking point is the point of your book? What's the point? As many different translations and interpretations as there already are, oh, we need scholars to really understand what they're really saying. They weren't even there back then. These supposed writers were there back then, maybe.
No, babe, the New Testament literally says, I don't need a fucking scholar. I don't need any evidence. I don't need nothing. It just says,
yes,
those that believe without seeing, those that believe without knowing. We don't need that shit. I don't need a fucking scholar.
Exactly.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's why I find it interesting when I listen to debates and people ask for extra biblical evidence of the God belief or Jesus belief or whatever. Technically, there should not be. And there's a reason why most people just directly read from scripture to prove their God, even though, of course, we don't take that as clear evidence, but I digress. Technically, per their book, there should not be. You don't need anything extra than the book to explain the belief. Unfortunately, though, your fucked up book can't be understood. by no one. Now you need extra motherfuckers to write extra shit, to make shit up or misinterpret it or retranslate it, just so more people cannot understand what the fuck the book actually is trying to say. You're in a fucked up loop.
The circularity is deafening.
Mm.
It's deafening. And you know, it's and I've used this example over and over and over and over. Yeah, yes, and yeah. So fuck your interpretation, because if God is necessary and He is eternal, and He has revealed Himself and gave you personal and me personal revelation, we don't have to worry about interpretation.
Don't need it, dog.
But unfortunately, we do have this vicious cycle of circularity. Why? Because there is no God. So you continue to have to turn to a book that's bullshit, that's so problematic. It's so flawed. And it is so, once you can remove, you know, whether you want to call it the God goggles, or I always say, once you can get sober from the Jesus juice, and you can see it clearly, it's mind-blowing how disgusting that book becomes. It's repulsive.
Truly.
It's repulsive. Like, it's disgusting. It's literally repulsive. But to Dr. Elijah, or whatever the fuck his name
McCaulley Culkin.
Yeah. I'm just going to bring it back to this, because there was a couple things I was going to say, but I think that this is the best way to end this, and I'm going to try to find a way to get this stream to him.
Oh.
Because this needs to be said more, and this conversation needs to be had more. And Dr. whatever, I will respect the fact that you went through schooling and earned a piece of paper. But the nonsense that I've heard here, I don't respect that, and I will not respect that. And the reason I say that is you focused on all of the very, very like Sunday school, kids church, children's
Baby
church.
bullshit.
Yeah, the very the as the Bible would say, the milk and not the meat. Because I assume when you make this YouTube video and you say, what happens when I don't agree, or whatever, with a person, I'm assuming you're talking to adults. But what you levied in this would be very elementary level apologetics. So to bypass all of that, I would love to have a conversation as a white man, as a white motherfucker, that is mind blown why any person of color believes in this book, believes in this God. I want to know. I'm intrigued. It blows my mind. I know why white motherfuckers want to believe it. It gives them this sense of entitlement, this false sense of empowerment and authority, and yeah, control. It goes on and on and on. I get why the white motherfucker wants it, and why they need to cling to it. I'm 100% perplexed. I'm 100% mind is blown by any person of color or anybody in the LGBTQ plus community can hold on to this belief, because that book hates you. That book hates you. And women. And all this is the one time I'll give a white bitch a pass. Women, the Bible hates you. The Bible hates you simply because you have a vagina. Why do you fuck with it? Why do you fuck with that book? Why do you fuck with that God? But I digress. Back to you, Duck. I'm gonna find a way to get this to you, and maybe I'll just cut this part out. So if you want to go back and watch the rest of it, you can. But as a white man in America that's a former Christian, now atheist, I would love to know, you know, as a black man, how and why you cling on to that faith and that book, knowing that it clearly endorses a thing that absolutely ravished and damaged and killed so many people in your lineage, your family line, in your ancestry. I don't, that blows my mind. But I'll stop there. Anything from you, Jenna?
I am heavily disappointed as a Black woman to see a Black man, and even any Black person that is of this faith, that wants to touch on apologetics or reason through their things with apologetics, and title a video where they address hard issues or passages within the Bible and just skirt the heavy shit. Just skirt all around it. Don't even come close to touching it. See it out the corner of your eye and stay the fuck away from it. And that's disappointing. Because you know we have issues with slavery in it. You know we have issues with certain groups of ethnicities or civilizations within it. You know we have issues, obviously, with women in it. It's disappointing that you didn't utilize your piece of paper and the platform that you hosted your little talk on to touch on those things, because those should be the utmost vitally important topics to you. I don't know how you've rectified that within yourself to not at least mention that as one of your points, if not the number one fucking thing. That's disappointing. I shouldn't be disappointing. I shouldn't be surprised, but I am a little bit. Not surprised that, you know, obviously it'd be mentioned, but surprised that you obviously did not mention it at all. Granted, we only maybe got 10 minutes in it, and I'll watch more of it later. That's fine. But even within the first 10 minutes is not the number one fucking thing. I have no respect for you. I'm done.
And just yes or no. The yes or no question, and I'll make sure that this is part of it, because I'll probably just chop off this part of it and find an email address or whatever to send him. So 10 minutes into this, and the title is "What Should We Do When Bible Passages Bother Us?" Jena, as a Black woman in America, is there anything in that book that would be more problematic or more bothersome to you than either slavery or misogyny, which you can combine the two in the way the Bible treats slaves and women, that you can combine the two? But is there any one or two, either collective or separate passages or stories in the Bible that would be more problematic to you? Are there any more than that?
No.
And I didn't think so. Based on our conversations, I didn't think so. But I want, for this purpose, I wanted to ask that and make sure that we're clear. And when I reach out to this gentleman, that we're clear on that. So, and real quick, Soren, if G-Man was even a 0.25% of a honest interlocutor, I would have no problem talking to him. But that motherfucker is so off in La La Land that I
Well,
will not waste my time. I will not waste my time. I will talk to somebody that's going to be an honest interlocutor. He is not that.
not even close.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. That's a hard pass, dog. That's a hard pass, dog. But no, it was some of these, like, it ebbs and flows. They're fun, then it's like fuck, you get pissed. Then it's fun, it's like fuck, you get pissed. Then it's fun, you fuck. This is one of those, especially when hard-hitting topics come up, whether it's mental health and suicide, or we start talking about slavery and racism and misogyny, and like all those things. Like those are things that hit home today. That's not Bible shit.
Mm-hmm.
So they hit home, and there are things that need to be addressed. Oh, Soren. Okay, thank you. I'm glad you said that. I was just joking. Yeah, fuck that dude. But I will debate anyone on #JesusIsm. I'm kidding. Not anyone. Not anyone. That was a joke. It was a joke. Do not run and start putting that all over your notes. But yeah, anything in closing you'd like to say, Doctor? Not a lady.
I appreciate the love and support of those that have tuned into my solo streams. They have been fun, and I will continue to do more. Other than that, from one bullshit person that we covered earlier to another bullshit individual that we colored just now. So we'll continue to present you with the bullshit.
We're going to bring you piles of bullshit.
Mountains,
glaciers, planets, stars, galaxies.
Beyond this
And beyond.
universe.
We're just going to keep shoveling it.
Get in there.
That's what she said. But I will say before we wrap, there was I'm probably gonna embarrass Jena a little bit right now. There was a few weeks ago. Well, there was some, because of the stuff she shared with her family. There was frustrations and being tired and dealing with stress and all that. That was part of it. But there was another conversation that had to do with that, and her and I talking about her starting her own live streams and her own solo streams and the and I'm not mocking. I'm doing my best to pretend that I'm Jena, so I'm not mocking. But I don't do it like you do it. I don't do it like you do it. I don't know how to do it like you do it. I know. I'm not as confident as you are. I can't do it like you do it.
I did sound like that for real. Spot on.
But how do you do it? And I was like, babe, all you gotta do, just click the fucking buttons, watch the video, and critique the video. That's all you gotta do. And I told her, I was like, babe, people want to hear from you. They respect you and they love you, and you do have a story, and it makes an impact. And people want to hear from you. And here I'm trying to be like sweet and inspiring and motivate her. And as soon as I'm done, but babe, I'm not good. But babe, I can't do it.
Spot on. My fuck.
This shit was fucking hilarious. But I say all that to say she's got 2, 3 now under her belt, doing the solo streams, and first of all, I'm proud of you, because I know there's a big step for you, and I know you were nervous as fuck. palm sweaty, mom's spaghetti, vomit on the sweater already. Like I already knew you were in that moment. Like B Rabbit was going to them first freestyle. I was like, fuck, I'm about to barf everywhere. But no, I'm proud of you. And I just want to highlight this, and I'm sure you did, because you pay attention to details even way more than I do. But there were several times tonight, babe, that all by yourself, you had like 32, 33, 34 people tuning into you live, real time on your third stream.
I don't know why.
I didn't ask if you know why. I was congratulating you. This was not a questionnaire.
My bad.
But no, I do want to say that publicly, because it was very cute behind the scenes how nervous you were and all that. But you say this about me all the time, but I think it's more true about you than it ever is me. People connect to your authenticity and your being personable and real life, right? And you and I have talked about real knows real. When you come from these streets, real knows real. But anyway, I'm proud of you, and tonight was awesome. I was very, very excited to watch you and watch the viewer count. You know, while you were just all by yourself doing it, I thought that was beautiful. So, congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and I know and feel the love, and I was nervous as shit. It's true. And you know, as always, babe, you're always as encouraging as ever with anything I talk about or do or say, and I appreciate that, because you know, and I told you this last night, that you inspired me when I first discovered Tart in its early days, and I would see you do your thing when you eventually did solo stuff. And you know, from then on, I felt the encouragement of doing something similar eventually. It's so easy to do panel discussions or, you know, one-on-ones and things like that. Running a show on your own, that's, you know, it could be a lot, you know, interacting with your audience, you know, reviewing the content or regurgitating content or whatever it may be. You know, it's fulfilling enough to see the recognition and people applauding you, people, you know, just either just silently listening or leaving a comment later or whatever. I feel fulfilled. And as I keep saying, if I can just reach just that one person, that's all that matters to me. And I will keep doing what I do, because I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it. So thank you. And thank you, babe. I love you for that.
Well, thank you, and I love you, and thank you, and thank you, and thank you, everybody. And yes, I agree. She's getting much better at taking compliments, and I actually suck at taking compliments. That's something that I can apply to both of us. I'm terrible at it. But yeah, that's something that both of us have to get better at. And we do have one more super chat. Super chat. Yay.
Tinder XXY here for girls. Oh, wrong one. That's not the super chat. That's not the super chat. No.
No, I'll go back to the super chat. This one's way more important than anything Bilowitz had to say. So Tinder X, I just muted everybody, Jena, chat, everybody, you have to wait till the stream's over. You can't do this during the stream. I've told you this. You have to text me after the stream. This is not the appropriate place for this. Thank you.
Is he muted? Babe, you muted?
Okay, I'm back.
Oh,
we
hey,
have a
yeah.
super chat.
Oh,
And this comes from Shane Bilowitz for $2. Let the church say amen. Jena is cool. The end. Period. Oh,
glory.
if you feel the
Glory.
Holy Ghost, put your hands in the air and then bow your head and pray in the name of Jesus.
Shandeke. Shandeke glory.
It was somebody at work today told me, like, dude, you do a pastor way too well.
Who you telling? I swear, one of these days, if you find Oz pastoring, it's probably for realsies. 'Cause he's fucking good. Anyway.
Well, I'd
Thank
be
you.
doing it like covert, undercover.
Oh,
But yeah, thank you, Shane. Thank you.
Thank you, Bilowitz. I appreciate it. Thank you. And stop missing my live streams, Bilowitz.
Yeah, bitch. I mean, Bilowitz. She said it, not me.
Any hoot.
Any hoots. All right. I haven't slept in essentially 3 days, so I will be slap happy for hours. But Dr. Not a Lady Will Not. She has to work in the morning. So I will respect that. If not, I'll just keep running this shit into the ground until it burns. Oh, I'm sorry. All of a sudden we're on your schedule, sir? That's some Christian shit. Pastor, you're not having Bible studies in home groups when I'm off work. So I feel like I'm losing my faith.
Oh, God.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, end it now, please.
Where's the nearest dumpster? I wonder where the nearest dumpster is. Okay.
Morning, Theo.
Morning.
Well, it's morning for him. I'm glad you're here, organic jerk. Okay. Let's go.
Okay, Jena wants to go to the next video. All right, so the next video is titled
No, the fuck Jena does not.
Your eyes, that was amazing. Oh man, we are on a roll tonight.
This man's fucking me up.
Keep rolling. All right, so
keep rolling. Oh, sorry.
No, get it, girl. Keep rolling.
Copyright.
Rolling. They can't. There's no music.
Rolling. Yeah. Roll. Okay.
What? And then when DMX got on there, we doing this right here.
Oh. Let me just do this myself.
No, I'll do it. All right, the next video tonight.
No, motherfucker.
Oh, I just got called motherfucker live on.
No,
I just got called motherfucker. Y'all heard it?
I said
that shit was live. That shit was. That shit
said
was
it.
live. Y'all heard that shit.
I said it out of love.
Y'all heard that shit. And now she gaslighting me. You hear this? You hear this? Y'all hear this? This is some abusive shit right now. This is somebody call my therapist. I need her here right now.
This is what happens. This is what happens. You know when better is. Stop it.
Oh, now he's gonna be passive aggressive. So I got fucking Jena gaslight me, and then I got fucking Shane Bilowitz being passive aggressive in the chat. I'm being abused. Where's my therapist? I need my therapist. If not, I'm gonna do what the guy on the first video was talking about.
Oh God.
I'm just gonna pretend.
Oh, don't do that.
All right. So if you guys weren't here for the opening of the show, we did have a new intro that you can check out. And we'll probably have a different video later. I literally put this shit together in like a half an hour, which doesn't sound like a long time, but it's really fast to put together. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. If you've never done it before, fuck you guys, but I love you guys. Peace.
You did it, you woke a sleeping monster. You did it, you woke a sleeping monster. You did it, you woke a sleeping monster. You did it, you woke a sleeping monster.
Yeah, now check my lenses. Yeah, look through my window, my crescendo. Step up the tempo, my life's an innuendo, but I'm super like Nintendo. I bounce back like Rambo. I'm the truth, Paul Pierce. Y'all still wet behind the ears. Your peers cried tears, cause I spit so fierce.
You did it, you woke a sleeping monster. You did it, you woke a sleeping monster. You did it, you woke a sleeping monster. You did it, you woke a sleeping monster.
Yeah, I got a bad habit of smacking these maggots like I'm B-Rabbit. I told you boys to go grab it. Throw the life jacket, but you fell and bumped your head dead, Bob Saget. So moving forward, do not feel the mention or pay attention. I am the fourth dimension, I'm the shark, motherfucker, now you've been bitten.
You did it, you woke a sleeping monster. You did it, you woke a sleeping monster. You did it, you woke a sleeping monster. You did it, you woke a sleeping monster.